Are we we are twitching.
We're twitching.
Okay, let's do this. See if I get the right theme song this time.
Oh, you did. You did.
Well
You
done,
did.
boys.
You did.
Haven't done this for a while.
Music.
You have your game on.
Where's the music?
Haven't done it for a while.
Where's the music?
We can hear it. You can't hear it.
Solid effort. Solid.
Solid effort. You gotta pretend you can hear it. Right. Okay. Well, there you go. Okay, guys. So it's episode 130. I think it's been 100 days since our last episode. So for those that are joining, welcome. Interesting thing. I don't know if you remember last time I had been shadow banned by Facebook.
Were you?
Yes.
What was the story behind the shadow ban?
Well, I think it was because I was vaping in the stream. I think they might have what's going on here? They might have banned me or shadow banned me
for vaping on the stream.
I think so.
So, like,
well, I can't think of anything else. I mean, it was either foul language or something like that.
Which is not uncommon.
Not what, the foul language or the shadow ban?
Actually, now that you mention it, yeah, we've always been cutting edge.
Cutting edge. Yeah, anyway, so I can stream on Facebook again. Thank God.
So, like, can I ask you, like, what did you have to do to unshadow ban yourself?
I just had to wait.
You had to wait.
Yeah, just time. I shadow ban you for like 30 days or 60 days.
You serious? And I was like, so you didn't actually have to do anything.
No, I didn't
You
have
just
to do anything.
went away.
Yeah, well, today I said, oh, okay, let me set up a live stream. And it said, okay, you can do that, which it didn't allow me to do previously.
Okay. So we're going to watch your language, right? Or
Just no vaping.
or basically
Swearing whilst vaping.
or
Yeah.
mind your language.
Mind your language. Mind the step, dude.
Do you
Anyway.
guys, do you guys remember that TV show, Mind Your Language?
Yes, I do.
Lester?
No.
Oh,
No, I remember the name. I'm just trying to.
They were in like their classroom.
picture it.
They were in the
Classroom.
classroom.
and it was set in Britain, right? Or United Kingdom.
Yeah, okay, I remember it now.
And basically they
remember it
had a French lady, an Italian guy, a Spanish guy, and like, yeah, guys from different countries. It was quite
Yeah.
entertaining.
And the Italian guy was a bit of a. He was after the hot woman in the class, and it didn't.
The French
I
lady.
remember.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So, what on earth have we been doing for the last 100 days?
Well, I think Oleg's got some
Things
info.
were happening. Things were
Yeah,
happening.
he was I don't know, he went on a trip. He's going to tell us about it in short bursts.
Okay. Oh, we're all drinking. Hang on.
Wait.
Up for
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Brought to you by
Seattle Coffee by
Seattle
any chance?
Coffee. Yeah, well, thank you, Oleg, for bringing us
So basically,
podcast coffee.
just basically,
Yeah, it's like old traditions. Yeah.
just to
Nice work.
confirm, we're not gonna get shadow banned for like flashing Seattle coffee on the
No, I don't think so.
Okay, it's not Starbucks.
This is not a paid promotion. We are not sponsored by Seattle Coffee
Okay.
yet.
What?
Yet. This
Keep
is what we
trying.
call user-generated content. In other words, we are creating content for the brand before we even have a relationship with them. And then we send them a link and say, hey, by the way, check it out, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every week, Seattle Coffee. The podcast is powered by.
It is powered by the.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, it's powered
can
by
be your
caffeine,
coffee.
but it's caffeine from Seattle. So Oleg, let us know where you've been gallivanting to.
Okay, guys,
Oleg, where have you been?
just sit back and enjoy the ride because this is gonna get wild. So, 2 weeks ago, I took a trip to Moscow. You know, like,
Mic drop.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
other side of the world, right?
And let's not forget that he comes originally from.
No, let's let him finish. Let him finish.
Yeah, let's not forget that, right? So the trip was via Dubai, like super easy trip. that Dubai leg was really cool because like in total it was a 16-hour trip. So 8 hours to Dubai, and then basically 5 hours from Dubai to Moscow, and then 3-hour layover. So like, and Dubai airport is pretty cool. Like they're basically, you know, like those reclining seats where you can chill and basically just rest for an hour. So you don't even need to kind of check into the lounge. And tons of restaurants open 24/7.
Problems.
Huh?
First world problems.
First world problems, yeah. Yeah, super chill trip. I arrived in Moscow, right? Nothing unusual. Fairly standard, fairly quick security check, quick conversation. And then I was out.
He was out.
So hang on.
They knocked him out. No, I'm joking. Yeah, go for it.
So how, the first immediate question, we'll get to why you did all this trip, I'm sure. But did you have to speak English or Russian at passport desk?
I spoke Russian at passport desk because I mean it's like,
And what sort of, how do you speak Russian with a Russian accent or another Russian accent?
so that's an interesting question because like on this trip I've been told by many people that I speak Russian with an accent, but it's unlike any other
Absolutely.
accents, any other accent that they've kind of heard, and it kind of messes with them because it's like they can't really place me where I come from, right? Because typically you can basically
Yeah.
pick up an accent. Okay, this person comes from this area, this person comes from this area, etc., etc.,
Yeah,
based on the
absolutely.
vocab that you use. With me,
Yeah.
the way I kind of pronounce certain words is correct, right? But it just sounds different, right? So they immediately pick up.
You have
okay,
a Joburg accent in Moscow. Okay.
it's actually pretty interesting because it's also not like, because I spoke to a few people and they're like, no, dude, this is definitely not a foreigner accent, right? But it's like not an English speaking accent or German or Italian or French. It's like it's just something completely different and very subtle. But why most people pick it up is because it's so subtle, right? It's not kind of strong accent. So yeah, that was cool. So at the passport control, I spoke Russian. I'm like, and in my passport it says exactly where I was born. You know, so it's like, guys, I'm just coming through, doing some visit, doing some tourism, etc., etc., checking the place out. And they're like, okay, cool. You know,
Did you use a South African passport?
absolutely. So we have a really good relationship with most countries, right? So like
Yeah.
we'll have a visa free with like 120 countries, and recently it's kind of been increased because now like most of the Middle East we basically access visa free.
Okay, let's get on to you've left passport control. What's the purpose of your visit? So,
No, I was basically just visiting some family and friends, and that was it. They're like, okay,
mean, yeah.
where do they stay? They're like, I told them where they stay. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, it was, and basically, from what I gathered, everyone was kind of going through that type of questioning routine. It wasn't like on the Israeli airlines where they kind of sweat you for 2.5 hours and search your bags, etc., etc., etc. It was like very low key. I would say it was even low key than going for basically through passport control in Australia for different reasons, right?
I wouldn't expect that. Okay.
No, it was definitely much easier than going through Oz passport control because, okay, there it's kind of a different thing because it's like okay, South Africa, drugs, you know, South America, drugs, you know, it's like, and then they sweat you like, and obviously search your bags and blah, 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 etc., etc. So it's kind of unpleasant because like they don't just like kind of search your bag and pack it in neatly, and then you have to
Try on
stand
your
there.
clothes.
Then you have to
use
stand
your
there just like
toiletries.
folding everything and packing everything in. So no, this wasn't like that. That was like a super polite conversation, and the guy was actually, the passport control dude was really interested. It's like, how the hell did you end up in South Africa? You know, it's like
Us.
never ever seen anything like this. So it's like there was kind of genuine curiosity type of thing.
So you were like a celebrity for them that day.
I was basically because
Did you say you did the weekend crack? Is that
no,
it?
no. But because I was like I was a weird case, I got like lucky because I was like the first one that they've processed kind of thing and spoke to, etc., etc. There was a Canadian guy sitting behind me, and there was a Canadian guy. There was some Americans. There were a lot of people from Middle East, like I think either UAE or Saudi. I can't really place it, but definitely somewhere from in the Middle East. And then there were a lot of guys from kind of like I would gauge India and Central Asia somewhere. And yeah, that was it. Out into the taxi. So what kind of shocked me about the trip is that the cost of living in Moscow, and I didn't expect this completely, is actually comparable to Johannesburg, like 1-to-1 comparable, with kind of things like food, transport, and taxis. Well, actually, no, transport is way cheaper in Moscow because subway ticket is 10 rand. So
Yeah, they've got the infrastructure for that, though. It's not really a comparison in Johannesburg.
yeah, and I have to say, Lester, I have to say, Moscow subway way better than London subway. It's like they're not even on the same
I mean,
league.
if I am ever in a position to be tourism,
Yeah.
touring Russia, at the subway system in St. Petersburg or Moscow, I would love to see that because it's every station is a work of art.
Absolutely. And
It's not just about the trains.
it's super clean, it's super safe, it's like and it's super efficient. I mean, basically the subway starts working from 5 o'clock in the morning, and basically last line leaves last basically train leaves at 1 o'clock in the morning. And take a guess
Vomit is at one. Okay.
take a guess what's the frequency of the trains on every line from
But they don't change it. I mean, I would have thought peak hours you'd have a lot more trains, like every 2-3 minutes, and then late at night every 10 minutes.
it's 80 seconds all throughout the day.
Nice until there's an accident
No,
or something breaks down.
dude, like you must see their subway trains. They basically 80% of them are brand new. Basically with LCD screens, USB charging ports, and
Whoa.
dude, they have 5G on the subway everywhere. Like you never actually
Nice.
ever basically out of comms. I was basically working on my laptop sending emails on the subway.
You just stayed in the train the whole day.
Up and down, up and down.
Yeah. But it's
The
kind of
circle line.
it's hyper safe because there's CCTV cameras everywhere. They monitor. There's
Everywhere.
police at basically every subway station that I've been to, and I've been to quite a few, at entrances and exits. And basically, like I spoke to some guys, and they said like they don't remember anyone being pickpocketed or robbed on the subway in the last like 10-15 years.
Oh. Okay. So was the
Okay.
trip a success? Did you achieve everything you wanted to achieve?
Dude,
Do
absolutely.
you feel like you've had a holiday?
Absolutely. Actually, it was a working holiday, and it was kind of a test whether I could basically work and kind of travel on
Remote.
the
Yeah.
same time. And obviously, it had some functional component to it, like in terms of sorting out some stuff. But the major component of it was tourism, because I've never been to Moscow. I worked in St. Petersburg before about 14 years ago. And it was really interesting for me to actually see how much did Russia change. Like, what's the vibe, And
Yeah.
I think Moscow is better than St. Petersburg. Even like 15 years ago, it was better. Although I've never been, but that's kind of the sense that I got from people when I spoke to. But now, yeah, it's a very livable, very kind of easy city to live, and there's a lot of foreigners. Like there's a lot of people from kind of all over Africa in Moscow, and there's a lot of people from Middle East in Moscow. I'm just gauging it based on
Hey.
like my subway experience. Yeah. In terms of what else I wanted to say, yeah, prices. I was really shocked because like I went to a couple of restaurants, treated a couple of friends out, etc., etc. I would say they're like middle tier restaurants, and they're comparable to Johannesburg. So obviously, like much cheaper than London.
This is interesting. No, it's good.
So
Right, so 100 days. You've been to Moscow. Anywhere else you've been?
I've been traveling like when I was in Moscow. I basically obviously did the obvious, the Tretyakovka Gallery, which is like the Russian Louvre, you know. And to be honest with you, I basically spent the day there, but like to do it justice, you kind of need 3 days because that place is huge. Obviously, just like the Louvre or the British Museum, you ain't gonna cover. You ain't gonna cover it in one day. Like even if you run from one exhibition hall to the next. The next big thing on my list was the Space Museum because there's only 3 of its kind. One is obviously in Houston, Kennedy Space Center. Second one is in Moscow, and the third one is in Beijing. So, and I mean, that place was super cool. I think you guys would have loved it because they have entire history of kind of space exploration from the first satellites, first animals launched into space, into the modern era stuff in terms of they actually had modules from the space station on display, prototype modules that you could go into and kind of have a look how everything's set up.
Prototypes, I was going to say.
Yeah. Prototypes, yeah. But like real actual modules that you can go into and have a look, like how everything's set up, how small the space is, how everything has to be kind of secured in the space station and zero gravity. They had old satellites. They had the first satellites that the Soviet Union launched into space, obviously the prototype, but real like life size. And I was kind of shocked how small it was. It was literally size of a basketball, you know. That was the first satellite, you know. It was the size of the basketball. And then they obviously had all the modern satellites that you launch. And you can kind of see this amazing evolution of kind of both the tech and the sophistication of the delivery, etc., etc. Really cool stuff. And obviously they had the whole history basically of space exploration. And what I didn't realize was that Russia actually had 3 starports. So there's not only one in Kazakhstan, it's called Baikonur, there's actually 3.
You need an extra.
Yeah.
Just in case.
You need an extra just in case.
Just in case. It's called redundancy.
Yeah, so
N+2.
it was really cool.
N+2.
It was really cool. And so traveling was easy. The weather was kind of like interesting because when I came there, it was snowing, right? And like I didn't expect that. I knew it was going to be cold, but I didn't expect to see the snow in May, right? It's like you wouldn't expect to see snow in May in UK, right? But could happen hypothetically. And then basically, so the first week was cold, and then the second week it warmed up, and like it was typical spring weather, so plus 20, sunny, warm, nice, beautiful, trees, green. Moscow is a very green city, yeah? Like, that's another thing that kind of shocked me. It's like, it's a very green city. There's green spaces kind of everywhere.
He's getting a call.
Guess from
Well, I
whom?
was just thinking it's time for your domestic, isn't it? Anything?
It's the DA is calling Oleg just to remind him that he needs to vote.
DA has been spamming me basically like continuously since I got back.
EA is now international, boys, everywhere. So obviously, South Africa has an election coming up this week where you get another day off. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're all about the
Yes,
public holidays.
There is, or has been, a lot of voting outside of South Africa.
Yes.
it's part of the South African elections coming up, and just the volume of people turning out, and then there's been, because no doubt there's been a big push from the DA to make sure this happens and the ballots can be captured and delivered and safely counted and all those good things. And I just, the volume of turnout is the thing that amazed me, and I've seen it across Europe and Dubai. We're talking tens, hundreds of thousands of people queuing for 7 hours. And London actually had 2 days of voting last weekend.
Yeah.
And people were queuing like 6, 7 hours around London, the queue went, so they could get in and vote.
I saw the pictures from London. It looked really cool.
So, Lester,
Nobody was complaining.
seeing that you're talking
And I
in
should
the
have thought
third
this
person,
through.
yeah,
Should have gone up there with my Boer horse roll van. Killing.
with your food truck.
Can you imagine if you could
Exactly.
actually set up a braai stand there, dude? Like, you would have made a killing.
You guys are making me hungry now.
You set up a braai stand there, like some basically spicy wings, maybe some bunny chow, just to basically throw some variety in.
Yeah, just everything, all the traditional stuff. Throw in
Yeah.
the booty if you want it. There'll be a vegan somewhere. We'll give him vegan booty.
Yeah.
Tart. The works, man. The works.
So, Lester,
But yes,
when you were telling that story, you were telling it in the third person.
Yeah.
So, can I assume that you didn't make a trip up to London?
I didn't make a trip up to London. Because I think there was a requirement to register. So by the time I realized, shit, it's this weekend, I was,
Oops.
I hadn't registered. I hadn't,
Look,
So
that's
bad me.
You do realize that you're putting a lot of pressure on us to make it right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I saw.
Stepbrother voted for me in Dubai. He might have used my ID book. I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, you probably find that there's someone in South Africa voting with your credentials.
You'll find that I probably put 10 votes in by now.
So, okay.
All the
okay.
major cities. I get around.
We're joking now. But the scary part would
We
be
are
if-
joking now.
If Lester
Yeah.
is actually already married to 4 different women.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, we said we wouldn't talk about that.
And
Yeah.
no, like the scary part is he could already be married to 4 different women and maybe 2 different men, and he doesn't know about
He doesn't
it.
know about it.
Having the time of my life. I never sleep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, obviously, you saw on social media a lot of these people queuing in Spain and wherever. I was just trying to put myself in that situation. If I was in an expat sort of situation living outside of South Africa, I was asking myself the question, would I be standing in that queue? I mean, sometimes you wonder. Look, I mean, I think it's great that the people are standing there, but sometimes you would think that when people have left the country because of whatever reason, they're tired of the politics, they're tired of this service delivery, all that kind of thing, they land up in a foreign country, it's working for them or whatever, and you would say, well, what's the motivation for them to go and stand in the queue to vote for a country that they said,
I think it's
I've
mixed.
had enough.
Hey, as big as those queues were, they should have been 10 times that. I've spoken to a lot of South Africans. And it's quite a mix. There's some that have been here for so long they don't care anymore. They don't see themselves as being part of South Africa in which they are from. They've moved on in their lives. They've got new nationality, new lives, and South Africa has just become a holiday destination, if at all.
Yes.
So, stories they tell at Rise, they used to live a bit like the Wenwees. When we were living in, Okay, so you got those. I think a lot of the people who have in the queues haven't been those outside of South Africa for less than 10 years. So there's still, it's obviously.
Oh.
Hello? I have a technical issue over.
No, we got you. We got you. Yeah.
We've still got you.
Loud and clear, man.
Okay, so I think there's a mix. And also, it's only London. London is obviously a big city, and there's a lot of South Africans. London, so convenience. But I'm gonna guy, South African who works for me, ex-South African, he didn't vote. and he's like 5 minutes on a tube away. So I think the numbers could have been much bigger.
Sure.
Also the other fact is, if you have to go all the way to London, it could be 4 or 5 hours on a train to get there.
Yeah.
Where you live in the country,
The cost.
and it's a long way to
Then you're
go.
standing in the queue, all that kind of stuff.
Cost.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
look, I mean, hats off to the people that did make the trip and
Absolutely.
and stand in the queues and all that. Because I mean, we have the same kind of situation in South Africa. Is like, what is the percentage of the vote population that is eligible to vote? What percentage actually goes and stands in the queue to vote? And I mean, it's not really that large, right? I mean, it's not as if, imagine if South Africa was a country where it was compulsory for you to vote, like Australia. I'll be interested to know what the results would be. Anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
So interesting
The
times.
last part on this is just expect to see the political parties doing last minute influencing.
Yes.
Well,
social engineering.
That shouldn't be happening.
well,
Social engineering.
guys, here's the question, right? Do you expect any change in terms of political landscape post-election?
I don't think
Predictions
so.
coming in.
No, I don't think so. But
Forecast.
well, I don't think there would be a change in the government, the ruling party.
Provincial?
No, I don't know. But I'm thinking there might be a fundamental shift in the ratios, the numbers.
Okay.
I don't know if that is then a good enough motivator for the guys. Okay, we're starting to run out of time. We've got 10 minutes left. So
That's cool.
I don't know if that's enough motivation for the ruling party to up their game. I think they seriously need to up their game. The reality is, if I go down to the Western Cape, I go to Cape Town, I was there recently, it's like a different world. And it's every time I go there, it's getting more and more noticeable in terms of just the infrastructure, what it looks like, how things are operating, how clean the place is, how many potholes, how many traffic lights are working, not working, etc. I mean, when I arrived at Cape Town, quick story. When I arrived in Cape Town, caught the Uber from the airport to my folks' place, and I'm sitting in the Uber and I'm looking out, obviously at Table Mountain, whatever, and then we're driving along the highway, and along the highway is this like sort of, what should you call it? Not river, but like a channel, or canal, right? But it's like one of those big stormwater kind of things, and drains, whatever. But it's open, and obviously you can imagine that kind of thing can get like a bit murph, and there'll be litter and garbage in there,
Dumping trolleys.
and overgrown plants and all that kind of stuff. No, dude. While I'm driving in the car, I check the guys. They're cutting the grass. They're in there cleaning out that canal, whatever. I'm like, as the thought came across, that's probably one of the last places that people will maintain. And as I had that thought, I saw the guy standing there, the guys working there. And I'm thinking, see, that's the fundamental
It's not all
difference.
lost.
Yeah, well, that's the fundamental difference for me. And then when you see that, you like think, well, holy cow, we could actually get things back to where they should be, could be and should be. And I mean, obviously, it's a very complex thing. I'm just obviously generalizing. It's an impression. I come back to Joburg. It's depressing.
okay.
Depressing.
Yeah. Let's move on a positive. I think there's going to be a change in the power of the ruling party. I think they should have taken a knock. A lot of people are just sick and tired of the corruption and the degradation of society, etc. I think they will lose a lot of power. I think they will still be in charge. I expect that, but I would also expect the more municipal setup to change as well. I think that's where we're going to see the biggest differences, and I think the secondary party will be a lot more prominent in municipal makeup.
Yeah, sure.
Makes sense. And
The
provincial.
thing is,
I think, it's not as one-sided as it used to be.
Yeah,
You
the
guys
DA
wanna-
did make
Oh.
quite a lot of ground in that, but they also lost some ground in recent
Sure.
times.
Do you guys want to hear my prediction?
Go for it.
I think DA will drop in every single province on the provincial vote except for one, and that's going to be KZN.
Okay.
Which
So
will
you
be more,
you reckon they're going to drop in
Even
the
in
Western Cape?
and you
Okay.
can check. You can check the results. You can compare the results with the previous election. I think they're going to lose 1
what's
to 2%.
the name of that guy in KZN?
There's a
He's
DA
a white dude.
Is it?
Yeah, he speaks Zulu.
He speaks Zulu, etc., etc. But that guy is like, I've been following him on Twitter. He's been basically getting a lot of like ground up community support in like various places in KZN. So like he's hugely popular in KZN politics. Even basically the ANC guys that are running the province, they love him. So it's like he's, yeah, no, it's jokes aside, but like, yeah, but I think the biggest change, kind of positive change for DA is gonna come from KZN. I think in Gauteng they're gonna drop, and it's just a numbers game. I think they will drop in the Western Cape as well, also numbers game.
Okay.
Well, we'll find out soon.
I think.
Well, how much time we got left?
I think the interesting
5
thing,
minutes.
I think the biggest kind of growth in the SA political spectrum is going to be EFF.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, let's go off on
Yeah.
change topics now.
But can we check in? Can we check in next week and just compare the forecast?
Yeah, we can. We can.
Yeah.
Since the results are going to be out anyway.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, recounting until it's
Yeah.
right. Since we last had a podcast, I've had knee surgery. I've moved house. This is a new studio, guys. How's it look?
This is a new studio.
same?
It still looks the same.
Yeah,
Still blurry.
yeah, dude.
Blurry cream.
You had a knee surgery.
Yeah, look, and the weather's. I got a t-shirt on.
I've got a
My
hoodie
goodness,
I also have a hoodie on.
you guys, how the roles have changed.
on. Yeah,
I mean, it is
exactly.
17 degrees here. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
I think it's actually also 17 degrees.
Oh, what's it?
17
What's it at the
degrees.
moment? Let's check on our.
I think it's warmer than 17 degrees. I'm pretty sure. But listen, man, knee surgery, that's a big deal, dude. Like,
Says 20.
What? So it's actually warmer. Sorry, Lester.
But we're still
sorry.
feeling colder
Abs-
than he is.
I mean, you guys, take me out, honestly.
He's got central heating there, and we don't have central heating.
No, the central heating's not on. Yes, it's an insulated house. Yes, I've got shorts and a t-shirt on. I haven't done this year. It's a whole new thing.
Yes.
Come on, 2 weeks of summer.
2 weeks of summer.
Okay, let's wrap up with some good stuff. All right.
Knee surgery.
Hey, no, I'll talk about that another time.
Okay, but you like
it's-
just 2 words. You okay? Everything's cool. It went well. They didn't accidentally
mate.
operate on
I'm
another.
slightly shorter on the one side. Walk with a limp.
No, don't say that.
But the penis enlargement went well. Okay.
Right. Moving along
Let's
swiftly.
move on.
Yeah.
As long as it didn't
Today
accidentally shorten it.
is. It was an accident. They were working on my knee and things got in the way. Anyway, today is National Geek Pride Day. So if you're a geek, you should take pride and celebrate the fact. I was thinking, pertinent, we are geeky in this forum.
I think
So
we'll
well
get-
done, guys. Enjoy your Geek Pride Day. And if you want to celebrate, it's also National Wine Day, which it seems to be every other day.
Yeah.
Wasn't that National
and it's
Wine Day
national-
like last month as well?
But what they do is they go National Wine Day, and then the next one is National Red Wine Day, and then there's the National
White
Wine
Wine
Day,
Day,
National Champagne
then
Day,
Rosé.
National Merlot Day, National Cabernet Day, and so on and so on. So there's always a wine day. But today you can just generally drink wine to your heart's content, because it's also National Tap Dance Day. So maybe this
They go together.
go together.
Yes.
Hold on, but tap dance is traditionally kind of Irish dancing, right?
No,
No?
not
No.
really.
Guys, please like fill in the gaps in my knowledge. Like
Yeah, well,
Today. Because we got no time.
yeah.
that gap. Will
Okay,
stay
today
open
on
forever.
this day
Yes.
is first Star Wars movie came out.
Wow. I'm gonna go
I
ahead.
feel old.
Yes.
It's 1977. I'll save you time. 1977. Ridiculous.
Jesus, were you guys around that long? Like, you most likely still remember.
He wasn't
dino-
even born yet.
Yeah, I wasn't even born yet. You guys most likely still remember the dinosaurs roaming around.
So is this the chronological order? Star Wars. Then we'll let Ola get born.
Yes.
It's a natural.
Progression.
Yeah, it's part 2.
Speaking of ages,
Return of the Jedi.
Mike Myers' birthday today,
How old is he?
and he 61.
Whoa.
Is he still pimping?
He probably is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have one last snippet. If we've got a minute left,
Yeah, we've got-
exactly a
Just,
minute.
You got exactly a minute.
I just want to spare a moment because it's a sad thing to finish on. Bosu, who? Bosu is the dog that's on the Dogecoin.
Oh.
The
Yes.
Dogecoin has a little dog,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's based on a real dog. The dog died this week. So
Oh,
rest in
Sherbet.
peace, my Dogecoin dog.
Oh no.
There you go.
Natural
Hey.
causes.
The inquiry's ongoing. No, it doesn't say.
Okay.
Okay, this thing is gonna drop us like a hot potato.
All right.
Okay.
That's all
anyway,
I
it was
got.
fun that we caught up. We've got a lot of catching up
Squeezed
to
a
do.
bit in.
We've got a lot
Only
of content
99
for
days to the next
couple of
episode.
Episodes, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right, dudes.
Okay, let's do it.
It's been
man.
fun. Turn
Pull
on the
plug.
music.
Pull the plug.
Which you can't hear.
Yeah.
There we go. Less than disappeared. Anyway, we need to sort out some plan there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll catch you guys next week then.